Please let the house come to order. Please stand this morning as we are led in prayer by one of our head pages. Mr. Jacob Venuti will lead us in prayer, and afterwards please remain standing for the Pledge of Allegiance. Jacob.
Everyone, please bow your heads. Dear Lord, you gave us the greatest blessing you could have given to us today by waking us up this morning. We pray that everyone had safe travels here on their way to the Capitol and safe travels on their way back home. And we pray that you guide the leaders of our state as they make future decisions for their constituents. Amen. Amen. Attention, salute, pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Renee, take our picture. Open the machine, Madam Clerk. Close the machine, Madam Clerk.
There's a quorum present, Mr. Speaker.
We will have the reading of the journal. Gentleman from Rankin, Representative Powell, moves we dispense with the reading of the journal. All in favor say aye. Opposed, no. The ayes have it. Report of select committees.
We have none, Mr. Speaker.
Report of standing committees.
We have reports on the calendar, Mr. Speaker.
Introduction of bills and constitutional amendments. Gentleman from Harrison, Mr. Haney.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I ask unanimous consent to dispense the reading of the introductions.
Is there objection to this? Hearing none, Mr. Clerk, we will follow that procedure. Resolutions, petitions, memorials, and other papers.
We have none, Mr. Speaker.
Introduction of guests and visitors. All right, we're short on guests and visitors on a Friday morning, but it's good to see those of you who are here in our North and South galleries this morning. Welcome to your Capitol. We will go to our calendar real quick. Concurrence, non-concurrence, passes. Motion, I'm sorry, gentleman from Rankin, Mr. Newman, for what purpose?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. On yesterday's general calendar, item number 6, Senate Bill 2838, I'd like to hold that on a motion, please.
Thank you, gentlemen. Please notify the chairman or the vice chairman. Gentleman from Washington, Mr. Hines.
Are you on the motion to reconsider calendar yet?
That's where I am now. I was just fixing to say that word when the gentleman wanted to hold one. We passed on concurrence, non-concurrence. Yes, sir, we are to the motion to reconsider calendar.
Item number 6, Senate Bill 3230. I move to table the motion.
All right, those opposed have 5 minutes. My board's lit up. Raise your hand if you would like to speak to that. All right, I'll get right to you. I see no one seeking recognition. If you favor the gentleman's motion to table on item 6, Senate Bill 3230, indicate by saying aye. Opposed, no. The ayes have it. The ayes have it. Gentleman from Hancock, Mr. Anderson.
Mr. Speaker, just clarification. That House Bill 2838, that was asked for immediate release yesterday.
All right, but even with immediate release, the gentleman has a constitutional right today. I know that sounds crazy, but that's correct. So we did get immediate release yesterday. For all intents and purposes, that sends it in motion to the other side, but it does not negate a member's constitutional right to hold a bill on the next legislative day, and I guess that's what he's done. So he is within his rights as a member to hold one, even where you got immediate release. He's close to you over there. He's your neighbor. Y'all talk it out. Gentleman from Prentice, Mr. Turner.
Motion, Mr. Speaker.
Yes, sir.
I'd like to move to table number 4 on today's calendar, Senate Bill 2699.
All right, those opposed have 5 minutes. I see no one seeking recognition. Question occurs on the gentleman's motion to table. If you favor the motion to table, indicate by saying aye. Opposed, no. The ayes have it. The ayes have it. Brings us to appropriations. He passes. Ways and Means. He passes. Laid on table, subject to call. General calendar, I believe we have 35 items left on the general calendar of Senate bills. Any chairman have an item they wish to take up? Gentleman from Education. I believe he has one more bill. Gentleman from Green, Mr. Birch.
Mr. Speaker, I'll have an introduction.
All right, you're recognized.
I'm going to get in trouble either way, so I'm going to introduce my wife, Brittany Birch, there in the North Gallery. So make her welcome.
Welcome, lady. Good to have you here today. We've enjoyed having your daughter here this week. I hope she's only learned good things while she's been here.
Yeah,
It's good to have you.
hold it for me.
Gentleman from Oktibbeha.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. If we could, with unanimous consent, I'd like to go to item number 9, Senate Bill number 2103.
All right. No other chairman wishes to take up a bill, gentlemen, so you're within your rights.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Judd B., Public Property, State Affairs, everybody's waving their hands no. So you're the taker, and you're at 9. Your issue is at 9?
Yes, sir. Number 9, Senate Bill 2103.
All right. Did you call that bill up?
Call it up and make the usual motions.
Gentleman calls the bill up, moves the rules be suspended, the bill considered engrossed, read the third time, and placed on final passage. All in favor say aye. Opposed, no. The ayes have it. You're recognized, gentlemen. I see you got a strike all.
Yes, sir. I'd like it to table the committee amendment.
All right. Gentleman's motion is to table strike all amendment. I see no one seeking recognition. If you favor the gentleman's motion to table the strike all, indicate by saying aye. Opposed, no. The ayes have it. Gentlemen, you're back on the original bill, I guess.
I have a new amendment, and I would ask that we adopt the new amendment.
All right. You want to adopt and then explain?
I'd rather adopt. Yes, sir.
All right. I'll let Madam Clerk post it. Question occurs on the agenda. I see no one seeking recognition, so I'll put the motion. If you favor the gentleman's motion to adopt strike all amendment 2, indicate by saying aye. Opposed, no. The ayes have it. The ayes have it. Gentlemen, you're recognized to explain your strike all amendment 2.
Ladies and gentlemen, we spent the last couple of weeks discussing teacher pay raise. We've discussed PERS. We've discussed everything under the sun in terms of trying to make certain that we have an opportunity to make certain that the teachers, the state employees, the heroes that go out here and do the hard work for our people, the police officers. We sent a bill over to the Senate. It didn't go anywhere. I feel like they need one more bite at the apple, and we're going to give it to them. Today we're here to talk about a teacher pay raise. We're talking about a $5,000 across-the-board pay raise, a $3,000 increase for the special ed teachers. That's an $8,000 increase for those people. They deserve it. If you've ever been in a room with a special ed teacher and children that have special needs, these teachers deserve it. Our teachers deserve it. We've worked very hard up here, and frankly, a lot of you have gotten a lot of flack for the fact that we weren't able to get this through this year. And the truth of the matter is, we may not get this one through, but by golly, we're going to try. So bottom line here is that this is a teacher pay increase. This also has the same superintendent salary structure that puts 250% of the salary of a licensed teacher with the equivalent education, licensure, years of experience. It does not mandate a specific salary for our superintendents, but it does put a cap out there. The reality is that this probably will not affect any of our superintendents out there. It may, not going to promise you that it won't, but it may. But we've had an ongoing problem with districts that have failed consistently, but they still don't have the resources to the teachers. This is a way for us to start pushing some of that down. That being said, this is not an attack on our good superintendents. This is merely a way for us to send a message that we think that our superintendents need to stand up, stand in, and stand with their teachers to make certain that they're able to educate and do the things that need to be done for their kids. This bill also has assistant teacher pay increase, $3,000. It's about time we started recognizing that the teachers out there and their assistants out there do some very tough work. These assistant teachers wipe the bottoms and the faces of the little ones that we send to school every day. And in the past, we've been giving them poverty level pay. This $3,000 is frankly not enough, but it's a start. This also has in here the revised PERS agreement there, where our officers, the first responders, who have had all kinds of trouble being able to continue the work, and when PERS changed a few years ago, it went to 35 years. This is putting them back to 25 years. Whenever we look at the police officers that show up when no one else does, when everybody else is running one direction, they're running toward the flame, the fire, the issue that's at hand. We should back them up. This also reduces the regular PERS agreement down to 30 years. Our state employees out here don't ask for much, but they do ask for us to listen. 35 years was too much. We listened to the advice that was given to us to fix the PERS system. We tried to do what they told us to do. Frankly, we'd been trying for the last 3 or 4 years to fix this. We did what they said, and it wasn't very popular. I think we'd all agree on that. This reduces them back down to the 30 years, and that is exactly what they've asked for. This also additionally reflects the 30 years to retire for all state employees hired after July 1st, 2011, as opposed to the 35-year currently, which I just said. This also reduces this down to the age 60 with or without having accumulated the required number of years of retirement. If you've attained that number of years required for vesting, whether the 4 or 8, and depending on when you were hired, it allows you to go ahead and do your retirement. This bill also has a teachers return to work portion, where if you're a teacher and you have retired, you can return to work for whatever you contract with your school district. Now, you will not get additional PERS, but you will be able to go work and receive your retirement. Teachers have been asking for this. This is a big deal for a lot of our retired teachers. This bill brings forward the Mississippi State, the student funding formula. It increases it to $7,481.68 to cover the costs that we're incurring doing this. The bill addresses the debate that we've been dealing with for the last few years for school attendance officers. This gives the school attendance officers approximately a $5,000 increase. We have the scheduling, the way that works is they start at around 27 now. We're adding to that, and they'll start out at 7,000 more than that now. So this gives those important factoring in of how they have to go out here and do the hard work. The bottom line here is that we're also changing the way we perceive these attendance officers. We're making them coaches. We're giving them the ability to go in and start dealing with their families. A lot of these men and women that do this job, they make relationships in their community, and we're giving them the ability and suggesting to them that this is part of what their job is to be a coach for their community, be a coach for what they do for our children. In the past, it's been used as a punitive dynamic. We're changing that. These are going to be people out in the community that's encouraging these kids to show up. And we're basing everything we do statutorily here to encourage that. That's the whole point of this. We're also, this bill also establishes a D and F district of innovation that helps these districts with teacher shortages. MDE will look out there and see that the schools that need some help. This will allow the MDE to go in here and help these school districts. This will not be funded every year past 2029. We'll have to come back and talk about this some more, and we're going to see whether it's working or not. But the intent of this section is to make certain that these DNF districts are getting some help. It's not supposed to be punitive. It's supposed to be in there to help them get the teachers that they need, find out what help they do need. If they need financial help in the sense of trying to figure out how to fix roofs and stuff, MDE will be able to go in here and help us figure these things out. If all of this sounds familiar, y'all voted on this at least twice already, and we've sent it to the Senate. Unfortunately, this place has a tendency to create issues for us in terms of getting good work done. And I'm not putting the blame on the Senate, not putting the blame on the House, but it's about time that we got the good work done. This body has always tried to do the good work. I know there's not a member of this body that doesn't believe in our kids. There's not a member of this body that doesn't believe in our teachers. And there's not a member of this body that hasn't already voted for a teacher pay increase, as well as the other things that are talked about today. Mr. Speaker, I would answer any questions if there are any.
Gentleman from Washington, Mr. Hines.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Gentleman Yield.
Yes, sir.
Gentlemen, I believe that this is an extremely lengthy amendment, over 400 some odd pages that you're bringing out here this morning, which we hadn't had a chance to really review. So I'm going to ask you quite a few questions.
Yes, sir.
So I don't want you getting your feelings. Is any of that transfer stuff in this bill? The transfer stuff that...
No, sir.
Portability?
No, sir.
The additional vouchers and tax credits?
No, sir.
Okay. How would this impact the budget in regards with the increase of teacher pay raise? What's the dollar amount that's going to be?
It's a $250 million increase without the assistant teachers, and I think that's another $30 million. It's a big hit.
It's a big hit?
Yes, sir.
And so we do have that inside the budget?
We have already budgeted for this, and if someone says differently, they're not being honest. We have budgeted for this. Am I going to tell you that it wasn't hard to budget for it? I'm not going to tell you that. It was hard. But this is the good work we were sent down here to do.
Okay, so let me make sure I have clarity. Can't speak for everybody else. So when we vote we already adopted this amendment. We vote for this legislation. There's none of the other stuff that we've been very contentious about in this body at all in this bill.
No, sir, I don't think so. I don't want to sit here and tell you that there's not something in here that you wouldn't like. However, the things, school choice, anything attached to that, if that's what you're referring to, there's nothing about that in this bill.
All right. Thank you, gentlemen.
Yes, sir.
Gentleman from Lowndes, Mr. Kareem.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Will the gentleman yield?
Yes, sir.
Excuse me, gentlemen. In the same vein as my colleague from Washington, you talked about the caps on superintendents. What are those caps?
It's not an amount. It's based on the education. The truth of the matter is that there's not anything in here that wouldn't prevent somebody to getting paid more, except for the fact that you're going to have to plug it into. It's got to be 250% of someone with the same education, the same years of experience, and credentials. So the bottom line is that's going to be awfully hard to not justify if there is a good justification. Now, it's going to be awfully hard for for those that don't have the credentials that attach there, so I'm not going to mix words with you on that. That is a possibility. But with the credentials, most of these are doctors. Most of these folks that have gone out here, they've gotten the education and all of the things that are plugged in here. The intent of this is to send a message to our superintendents that we expect them to do the job that we're asking them to do. It's not to be punitive in any way, shape, or form.
Gentlemen, Also, just a friendly question.
Yes, sir.
If I'm getting ready to vote for this bill. What is something in this bill that you think I might not like, as you stated to the gentleman from Washington?
I honestly can't
And I know that's vague, but
I can't think of one thing that you and I would not agree on. Not one thing. Everything in here is about giving our teachers a pay increase, doing the things that honestly, I've just not heard a lot of negative on any of that. I can't think of anything off the top of my head.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Hold on. I'm just making sure there's nothing I can think of. I would like to remind everybody, you've already voted for this a couple of times. I don't think that there's anything in here that you haven't already voted for. Yes, sir.
Gentleman from Warren, Mr. Denton.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Gentleman, will you yield?
Yes, sir, always.
I just have one question.
Yes, sir.
You said that in this bill, we're going to allow teachers that retired teachers
Yes, sir.
to come back.
Yes, sir.
They would still be able to draw their retirement.
Yes, sir.
My question is this: will they be paying into PERS?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir. They will pay, but they will not be able to get a benefit for what they're paying into. In other words, you can't do both. So
Okay, you're saying it won't help them.
Correct.
But they will be paying into PERS.
Correct. Yes, sir.
Thanks, sir.
And that was part of the hiccup that we were running into to make certain that it didn't affect PERS when they were able to come back. That was a compromise that we had to make. Yes, sir.
This coming back to work and you're retired, this is only for teachers, not law enforcement, sheriff department, police department. It's just only for teachers?
Only for teachers.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Gentleman from Holmes, Mr. Clark.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. With the Chairman yield.
Always.
Mr. Chairman, there's a lot to read quick, but I'm trying to scan it. The performance-based pay. Explain that to me a little bit.
Took me a second to catch up with you. What you're talking about is helping DNF districts receive additional money to help them.
Okay.
This is not a subtraction. This is an addition to.
Okay, and it applies to primarily DNF school districts?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And then, trying to figure out if you got a good bill here or not.
It's a good one.
The elimination of leave credit for peer members, where you can't take your personal leave, no longer will apply towards your retirement.
Are you talking about is that the returning teacher?
I think it's on line 104. I mean 1042.
1042. Gentlemen, that's existing law under. That wasn't anything that we changed. That's existing law. Yes,
All right.
sir.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Lady from Hines, Ms. Butler Washington.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Does the chairman yield?
Yes, ma'am.
Since the original intent of this legislation was to remove the requirement of our counselors to come from under the national standards of the American School Council Association Code of Ethics, will anything in this legislation or the code sections allow for that to be for our teachers?
Thank you for asking that. No, ma'am. That's all struck out.
All right, I don't see any further questions. I recognize the chairman, should he wish to close.
Ladies and gentlemen, vote for this. Vote for this. Move final passage.
He's moved final passage. Open machine, Madam Clerk.
Adoption.
If you favor the bill, vote aye. If you're opposed, vote nay. Has everyone voted? Has everyone voted? Close the machine, Madam Clerk. By a vote 122 yeas, 0 nays, bill passes. All right. I believe it's time for announcements. I'm sorry. Gentleman from Rankin, Mr. Powell, for what purpose?
Motion
State your motion.
on the Senate Bill 2838, the motion to table.
All right.
The motion to reconsider, I move to table.
Okay, I was just checking to be sure, gentlemen. In my time, I didn't know that that's happened. But anyway, gentlemen, the junior gentleman from Rankin held that today, but it actually passed yesterday. So it is, you do have the ability to table that on the same day when it was passed on the day prior. So you're within your rights. The gentleman's motion is to table on the junior gentleman from Rankin's to hold that bill on a motion to reconsider. Anyone wish to speak to that motion? My board's lit up, so raise your hand if you want to speak to that motion. All right, seeing none, I'll put the motion. If you favor the gentleman's motion to table, indicate by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, no. The ayes have it. The ayes have it. Gentleman from Oktibbeha, Mr. Roberson.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I'd like immediate release of Senate Bill 2103.
All right. If there's no objection, the gentleman has asked for immediate release. Hearing none, we'll follow that procedure. Announcements by the clerk's office? No announcements. Announcements by the members. Gentleman from Warren, Mr. Denton.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I have an adjourn in memory.
Yes, sir. You're recognized.
I'd like the body to...
please give the gentleman your attention for an adjourn in memory.
We had a long-time businessman in Vicksburg to pass away, and he also was a Justice Court judge, the Honorable James E. Jefferson, Jr. And also his stepson sits at the desk down at the north entrance. So I'd like to join in his memory, and if any of y'all walk by him, he may be looking kind of down, and that's the reason why. So I feel sure that he'd appreciate a word from anybody. Thank you.
Thank you, gentlemen. We will certainly do that. Gentleman from Bolivar, Mr. Sanders.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Request to change the gentleman from Lauderdale's vote on yesterday's calendar. Item 41, Senate Bill 2432, change it from nay to yea.
Is there objection? Change the gentleman's vote. Gentleman from Jackson, Mr. Fondren.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I just want to say congratulations to my alma mater, Pascagoula High School. Last night we took down the Terry Bulldogs 56-54, and it was a good game, and I'm proud of those kids, and I know the city's proud of them too. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
I believe it was their first state title in basketball last night, right?
That's right.
Congratulations, gentlemen. I have an announcement. I'm intending on a press conference about 10 minutes after adjournment on the second floor rotunda, and I'd like to invite all the body that would like to be there simply to discuss our teacher pay raise. And if you see fit and like the legislation, you're welcome to stand there with me and anybody else that would like to stand there. So the entire body's invited for that. 10 minutes after adjournment. Gentleman from Hines, Mr. Brown.
Thank you very much, speakers.
Yes, sir.
Ladies and gentlemen of this great body, I would like to make an announcement. As of yesterday, my daughter, Dawn Elizabeth Brown, a product of Callaway High School, a product of Atlanta Community College, and a product of Jackson State University, has just wrapped up the State of Alabama High School Girls Basketball Championship, as well as the State of Alabama State Tournament of High School Girls, winning dual titles, which is probably, it is a historic feat. The regular season championship, as well as the championship tournament championship. How about a hand for the Brown family? And
Congratulations.
For the Bulldogs of Alabama A&M women.
Congratulations. I know you taught her everything she knows.
I don't know how you knew.
All right. Lady from Harrison, Ms. Crawford.
Mr. Speaker, a request.
Yes, ma'am.
I'd like to ask unanimous consent on yesterday's calendar, Ways and Means, Senate Bill 3111, to change my vote from yea to nay, please.
All right. Is there objection?
Let me see how you voted.
Change the lady's vote.
Oh, you did vote for it.
I see no further announcements. I will recognize the gentleman from Rankin for the motion.
I move that the House stand adjourned until 4 p.m. on Monday.
Gentleman's motion is the House stand adjourned until 4 p.m. on Monday. If you favor the motion, indicate by saying aye. If you're opposed, no. The ayes have it. House stand adjourned until 4 p.m. Monday.